Imagine for a second if Apple was to say, hey, let's put 1% of that into something that we could potentially do better than zero on. What if we put that into Bitcoin? It should be pretty clear by now that I think inflation's already here, just we haven't really admitted it yet to the level that we should be. But I think it's quite clear is that if you see the value of the dollar going down, like what happens is one of the reasons why the dollar is used around the world is because if you get your paycheck on a Friday, like you know what dinner is going to cost on Sunday. Like you know exactly what it's going to cost on Sunday. One of the issues that you get, and one of the things that really ramps up inflation is if you get your paycheck on Friday and the value of the dollar is off by 10% by Sunday, the price that you're going to have to pay for dinner is going to be wildly different. If we ever get a situation like that in the United States, that's going to scare the children quite a bit because we've never really had that before. So I think you're asking, Scott, about if we are going to see a dollar losing value and losing its purchasing power. Are you asking about what do we do from there?
Yes.
Right, so think about this. If the paper currency, the fiat currency is losing value, for example, what other things might be doing well? Well, if the paper is not doing well, other assets might be doing very well. So of course, you have the situation, and let's talk about Bitcoin because you brought it up, and I know we always get questions about Bitcoin from time to time. To me, there are so many reasons why the value of Bitcoin is so much lower today than it is going to be down the road. Of course, you can't print Bitcoins. We can print dollars. We can print whatever we want. You can't print Bitcoins. There's a finite amount of coins out there, and that's it. Number two, at the same time, what is really an underestimated driver in my book in the value of Bitcoin is the fact that right now with interest rates so low in the United States, like in my bank account, I don't even know if I'm getting any interest on my checking account. Companies, what's going to end up happening at a certain point in time, and we're only seeing this in my book in 2 companies so far, is companies, let's say for example, Apple. They have $136 billion in cash as of like 2 days ago. Cash.
They've got some buying power.
Or maybe it's 436. It's an unbelievable number.
It's monopoly money, man. It's not even real.
So that's yes. Exactly. So that's in the bank. That's getting nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine for a second if Apple was to say, hey, let's put 1% of that into something that we could potentially do better than zero on. What if we put that into Bitcoin? One stock. One company, 1% of their cash. What would that do to the price of Bitcoin? Just that. It would skyrocket because in 2020, Square had a very good year. PayPal had a very good year. One of the reasons why they had such good years is because unlike any other company, they took a percentage of their cash and they put it in Bitcoin. So their cash was growing a tremendous amount when every other company was just being stagnant. So of course, Bitcoin, one of the things that I think is fantastic about Bitcoin is, again, there's a limited number of coins out there, right? It allows people to be able to put cash into something other than just putting it into the bank account. But I think what we have all seen here, whether you agree with me or not, over the past 2 months is right now, at least according to the polls, and you can believe the polls or not, but the truth is right now, a third of the United States, we have over 300 million people in this country. A third of the United States does not even trust the results of our previous presidential election. So you combine the fact that we're likely to be in an inflationary environment moving forward for all the reasons I just mentioned, combined with the fact that if God forbid, some of these companies put micro fractions of their cash, right, into something like Bitcoin, and that's just the reality where we are today, have a significant number of people, tens of millions of people who do not trust the result of the election, they're going to want to, like China is doing and transacting in oil, they're going to want to figure out some ways to go around that currency that's backed by that government that they now think is kind of phony. Right, so you have a lot of different reasons to go ahead and do that. It's not that much different than something like oil, that is very much supply and demand and commodity driven. But yeah, I mean, there are many, many different reasons to go ahead and be very, very bullish on Bitcoin, because with Bitcoin too, institutions have not even gotten involved. If you're a fund that has over $10 million in it, right, you are very regulated by the SEC, right? The SEC has not given thumbs up to any Bitcoin ETF. And of course, they would never allow you to buy Bitcoin and put it on your books. So people can basically only, right now, if you are an institution, you can basically only buy GBTC, which is a trust. You can't do anything outside of that. So the Bitcoin stuff has not even started. Like, the real party in Bitcoin has not even started.